Welcome back to Papa's Custom Cars. Today we're unboxing our new MIG welder and retiring our buzz box. Hey, so today on Papa's Custom Cars, I got a new MIG welder to replace my old Campbell Housefield buzz box, I was told it was called. It's basically a welder that runs on 110. You plug it into the wall and it has a variable speed for the wire and nothing else. No temperature, no nothing. You do have a low and high switch, but I can tell you that probably welding with one of these things is the best way to get started. It kind of gives you a feel for the way things work and all that kind of fun stuff. It kind of shows you how awful something like that can be if you're using it more than a couple of times. Now, with the modifications that I'm making on the car, I did get a new TIG welder last year. And then this year, my wife got me the, is it Azzuno MiG 200 F MIG welder. So I'm going to unbox that for you today. We'll get that pulled out of the box. We're going to have to run over to Home Depot, pick up another welding cart because I want to keep it separate from the TIG welder. I don't have enough room in the garage here for one large shelf for both of the welders. And they make them, but they're $500-600, but they're huge. So I really don't need anything like that. If I've got them on two separate carts, that's going to work for me. So what we'll do today is we'll unbox it. I'll show you the basics of this one, and then we'll go off, get the cart for it. I'll show you how that assembles, and then we'll kind of go from there and see if we play with it today or not, just depending upon everything that's going on. Also got some new trouble lights, or for working under the car and such. They're the small magnetic ones. I've seen a lot of the YouTubers use them. They're pretty cool, very, very bright. So I got two of those. I got a set of combination wrenches that are metric now. So now I have metric and American combination wrenches, the ratcheting wrenches, ratcheting wrenches. So I'm kind of excited about that. And then I got a new smartwatch and a bunch of other cool stuff. But thanks to my wife and my kids, and let's get going on this video showing you how this sucker comes. So as you can see, it's all packaged up in its box. It's the Azzuno 200F MIG welder. It'll do a MIG stick, and it'll also do touch TIG or something of that nature. I've got a TIG welder. I'm not really worried about that. I'm more interested in the features of this machine. Before I did put it on my want list, I went through and I watched a bunch of videos on these welders. And for the price point of this one, it's definitely got a lot of features that a lot of the other ones did not have. So let's get this sucker opened up and take a look and see what we got. Open up, it's packaged really nice. Here's our 110 power cord. This is a 110-220 machine, just like the TIG, so definitely a big plus there. We've got our TIG torch here. Oh, and this will run gas or gasless. Of course, we've got our gas ordered because we want the gas. This is our TIG torch, or a MIG torch, I'm sorry. Halfway nice. Got another one of those, but we'll definitely use that one. And then on the other side, we've got another package that's got our ground clamp. Oh no, this is our welding clamp for our stick welding. Put that over there. And it looks like we've got more down there underneath it. So get it out. Oh, this is the hose. Well, the one that I got came with a hose, but this works too. or I should say the regulator I've got ordered comes with a hose. We'll put that aside. Make sure there's nothing else loose. Oh, there's our ground clamp. One of the nice things you'll see is it's got ground on both sides. A lot of the cheap ones will only have it on one side. This is going to be an issue, I can already tell, so we'll take a look at this and figure out how it performs over time. So let's get that out of the way. And it looks like we have a packet of instructions and an adapter cord. Yep, same adapter cord as the other one has, or my TIG welder has, so they'll all work together. Looks like we've got a, for our wire feed, we've got different sizes. We've got some clamps, and we've got our tips for our MIG. A couple different sizes, and your user's manual, which is nice because the TIG torch that I got didn't come with one, which I thought was weird. Guess they figure if you're buying it, you should already know what you're doing, but it's like, okay. So it does have a handle, so it is relatively portable. Oh, yes, the all-important, expensive wire brush that will never see daylight. So I'm going to go ahead and get it unboxed here. Like I said, this one does have the adapter to go to the 220, and it does the same as the TIG does, where it utilizes 220 once it's plugged in, so it can switch between 110 and 220. I have this cable, and I also have a different adapter that'll fit into all of my known outlets. I think this outlet is going to be the same as the one I've already got for my welder there, so that works out good. I think the other adapter I've got goes to like a range plug or a dryer plug or something of that nature. So on the back we've got our power switch. We've got our gas in, and it does use that little hose. And then it looks like we've got a ground here. So that's the back of it. It's got nice plastic. Well, that's kind of rubber corner. They're soft. So that's kind of nice. And we flip to the front. Go ahead and get everything taken off. And we can see we have a lot more controls here than our standard MIG. So let me go grab that one for you so you can see that one too in a side by side. So as you can see by my old MIG, you've got your torches, of course. You've got your on-off switch, your low and high, and your wire feed. That's it. No other adjustments necessary. Like I said, if you learn to weld with this, that will be hopefully a breeze. So that kind of shows you. This is what I'm going to probably throw on Marketplace for 50 bucks and sell it away. Of course, this needs to stay with me. So as you can see here, we have a little drawer up here at the top to hold your consumables. So that'll hold all your little accessories that you have here in the packet. So it's nice that they give you that. And you got 2 hose clamps. So all of these will go right into there. So for now, let's get it plugged in and powered up and see what she does. This is kind of an interesting concept. Gas and no gas. So if you have gas, you hook it into here. If you don't have gas, you leave it out, or you go over here. So you can go both directions. Interesting. I'll have to read up on that a little bit. So we'll get it set up, and I'll be right back with you in a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and break everything for now. We'll come back when we're building our stand, and then after we get our stand built, we'll get this on it, and we'll start messing with it a little bit. So stay tuned, and we'll be back in I'll be back in a couple of hours, but you'll be back in about 3 seconds. Okay, I'm back from Harbor Freight. We went and got our welder cart, or welding cart. This one's exactly like the other one that I have. Once I get this down, I'll probably end up just going to the metal warehouse and finding buying the steel and building my own and using the parts, some of the parts from these. But I'm not going to bore you with all the details of putting it together. I'll just put you in fast forward and we'll go from there. You've almost got it built. It's a relatively simple process. There's a bunch of holes and a bunch of screws. You got to just put it all together. The hardest part is when you're doing the final assembly, everything's off kilter a little bit, so you got to fight with it sometimes to get stuff to line up. But everything's lined up now, so I'm just tighten up this top part and then put the hangers on the sides, and that'll be done. All right, Bandit. Then we can start playing with the new welder. It has these hangers that go on the side. You can pick the height you want them. I usually put them down on the bottom part. And we still have a bunch of screws left too. I'm sitting here looking at it going, where are all these screws for? It's the hangers. So give me a little bit. I'll rapidly go through this and finish it up for you, and we'll be good to go. Just change to hold your bottle. Those will be right there. The bottle's been ordered. Hey, it's the next day, and we've got the welder unboxed and up on the new Harbor Freight welder stand. So I'm going to go over a couple of features that I found on this that I kind of really like. Did go through the manual, did watch some YouTube videos, and saw a bunch of stuff about this welder, and yep, the reviews are good. So let me show you some of the features real quick, and then that'll pretty much be it. I've got gas coming. Once that comes, I'll show you how it welds. But other than that, we'll go ahead and show you how it all works. So here we've got the welder. It does come with it's 110 or 220, and it determines which one just by how it's plugged in. It has the standard plug-in. I have this plug-in, and then I have the dryer plug-in back here behind because the heater uses this type of plug. I also, when I got my TIG welder, got an adapter. Where did I put it? I hid it.
A few moments later.
Okay, start again. So it has the standard 220 plug-in. It plugs into this one, and then this goes into 220, and it will automatically detect which one you've got. So that makes it really nice. With my TIG welder, they included an adapter to go from this style plug to a 3-spade dryer style plug. So I have both these two types of plugs over here on the wall, so I can use either one of them. I just can't use them in conjunction with the heater running. So I'll have to shut down the heater, and I can show you some real quick things that go with this welder. And find the power switch for this one, which is probably on the back, and it is. It does allow you to use both MIG with gas and without gas. So one of the things you're going to see here, are you coming in? Come on. So while it's on, the fan is always running to keep it from overheating. Hello, Bandit. Go lay down. Fan run, like I said, the fan runs constantly to allow adequate cooling for it. It's supposed to have a pretty good duty cycle. But one of the features that I really paid a lot of attention to is, number one, it knows it's got 220 in it right now. So when you plug it into 110, it'll automatically detect 110 or 220. One of the cool things is, for example, I'm going to be using 023 wire for the car. So I just punch the button to get it to 023. And what you're seeing over here is, as you change, it changes the amperage and everything. So it's saying 70 amps, 18 is your wire speed, 70 and 16 is your wire speed, etc., etc. So that's kind of cool. I'm hoping that feature works out well. It also lets you choose between CO2 if you're running flux or what have you. You can select the type here. Like if you go to flux, it automatically goes to 035 because it knows that there is no 023 that's not flux. It's too small and you can't get flux in the middle of it. You can still change your amperage and all that kind of fun stuff to fine-tune everything. But from what I understand, nobody's had to do that yet. So like say if I set it to 77 and I send it to here, if I go back to my settings again, it's right where I left it, 78. So once again, I'm going to go with whatever it says automatically. Right there, and then it was on 70. So you can override it and put it wherever you want it, which makes it nice. The bottom one is MIG T2, meaning push hold button and you weld, let go button, and it stops. 4T is you pull the trigger on it and it starts to run whether you got your finger on it or not, and then you pull it again and it stops. MMA, of course, is your arc welding, and then you've got TIG lift. I'm not going to be using the TIG lift on this. There's no point for me to do that. So those are some of the features that I'm just kind of go through real quick with you so you kind of understand once I've got my gas coming, I've got some flux core in there now, but I don't want to mess with it with flux core. But once my gas gets here, then I can show you how it welds. I'm hoping, based on what I've heard, that the machine does everything and sets everything automatically. From what I understand, once you do that, you don't have to mess with it again. So that's kind of cool. I did shut the machine down, but it does run until it completely cools down, so it'll automatically shut off for you. So those are some of the good features about this welder that I've seen so far. The other thing is, if you're using gas, for example, if you're using flux core, you put it in this, you move this to here. If you're using the other, you move it to here, and then the ground goes to the opposite one. It's kind of neat. So you can choose the way you want to go. And like I say, I'm waiting for the gas to show up. So once the gas shows up, we'll be good to go. Other than that, it'll take up to a 10-pound spool of wire. Let me go ahead and unplug everything. So in this particular one, like I said, I've got some 030 wire in there now. It's just sitting there. To change it, you just undo this. Oop. And then the flux core wire comes out. I need to hook it into itself so it doesn't go spinning everywhere. And then down here, I've got a 10-pound roll of 030, the big boy. I am just going to leave it in its package, but just to show you, where'd my big wheel go? It does have the big wheel setup, so you can do the large sized. I'm going to get it on there, and like I said, I'm just going to set it on for now. Whoa, that sucker is heavy too. Up, backwards.
5 minutes later.
Spring. Okay, well, I'm not going to mess with it right now because it wants to fight with me, but it will take the 10-pound roll, as you can see here. Yep, there goes my stuff. But it will take the 10-pound roll, which is definitely way more than you ever need. You can also change out your wheel sizes to the 06, I believe 06, 08, and 09, depending upon which wire you're using. So it does have a lot of good features that a lot of these don't have. So that's always a big plus, but that kind of gives you a little bit of a rundown on it. Like I say, as soon as I get some gas and everything, I'll kind of go into it welding once I get it all set up. But that's just kind of give you a rundown on this welder. Inexpensive, a little over, a little under $300, but for the money, from what I understand, it's a good unit. So it might be a welder that you're interested in later on. So from what I understand, but as I use it, once I get my gas and everything, I'll do another video and show you guys how it works and all that fun stuff. With that, I think that's about it with the welder for this time. I'll give you a rundown on it once I've got, like I said, once I've got the gas and everything. So that'll be it for this weekend. It's 4 o'clock on a Sunday, so time to go in with the family and hang out. And I will talk to you guys probably next week. I should hopefully have my gas by then. We'll see. If not, we're back on the Nova anyway. And like I said, I couldn't start welding until I got this one. I didn't want to do that with a buzz box when this is sitting here. So like, share, subscribe, and I will see you next time.